Well, week 2 of the federal election campaign has kicked off with a major backflip from Peter Dutton on working from home arrangements. If elected, he will no longer force public servants back into the office 5 days a week, whether they're based in Canberra or not. He's also ruled out pursuing 41,000 job cuts through forced redundancies, instead seeking to shrink the public service through natural attrition.
Labor has been relentlessly attacking the policy, pushing a narrative that the coalition is essentially copying Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Our political reporter Stephanie Dalzell is following the Prime Minister, who is in Melbourne today, while Jake Evans is starting the morning with Mr Dutton's campaign in Adelaide. First to you, Jake. This is a pretty major backdown, isn't it, by Peter Dutton?
Morning, James. Yes, this is an extraordinary about-face by the coalition campaign, and as you say, we're only 1 week in to the federal election. It was only a month ago that Shadow Finance Minister Jane Hume issued the demand for all public servants to return to the office 5 days a week with limited exceptions under a coalition government. That policy landed with a thud among voters, and this morning it has been abandoned. The Shadow Finance Minister confirming that a coalition government will preserve flexible working arrangements, and Jane Hume saying the party had listened to voter concerns. But on top of that, the party has beat a major retreat on that promise to slash 41,000 public service jobs, saying there will be no forced redundancies under a coalition. Instead, it will impose a hiring freeze and allow the number to tick down over time through natural attrition. But that's going to cause problems of its own for the party, since it had been banking on the expected $24 billion in savings that would achieve to help pay for some of its other promises, like a multi-billion-dollar spend on Medicare. This morning we're in Adelaide, as you can see, where Peter Dutton is expected to make a major infrastructure announcement, but the opposition leader is probably also bracing for a round of tough questioning on this backflip.
Yeah, indeed. And Steph, clearly both major parties had been picking up that this was a contentious policy when they're out door knocking and doing polling as well, because Labor had already planned to try to make work from home a huge focus for today and this week.
Yes, even before Peter Dutton backed down, Labor had already intended on making this work from home policy a focus on day 10 of the campaign. Labor has consistently criticised the coalition over this policy and overnight released analysis arguing that limiting work from home arrangements disproportionately affected women. Now, it had intended on pursuing this throughout the campaign, but the coalition has sought to mitigate that attack by backing down. Now, Anthony Albanese will spend the day in Melbourne. It's his second trip since the campaign begun. The ALP brand at a state level has really suffered, and federal Labor is really nervous about that and about being punished at the ballot box as a result. It's fending off threats from its left and to its right as it tries to sandbag marginal seats like Aston and Chisholm. But the Albanese camp will be buoyed by the latest news poll results today, which put Labor ahead of the coalition 52 to 48 after preferences. This is significant because this is the result that delivered Labor a majority government back in 2022. And now all the polls either have Labor ahead or catching up, gaining ground on the coalition, which indicates a shift in voter sentiment as we head into week 2 of the campaign.